Welcome to Yoga with My Happy Body.
Hiya, and welcome back to Yoga with My Happy Body. My name is Chloe. Today we're practicing a 20-minute-ish after work stretch. So this is for those of you who have had a long day, sat down at the desk and just feel ready to stretch it all out and feel at home and great in your body again. You're going to need a yoga mat. You might want a couple of blocks. I recommend putting on your favorite t-shirt or snuggly jumper and your favorite leggings or joggers and being barefoot. And we're going to start in a kneeling position. So let's head over to the mat and get started. Let's begin in a kneeling posture with all 10 toes tucked under. If this is a little bit strong, you can also bring your hands to the floor in front of you and even turn the elbows out to the sides and rest your head on your hands in like a tucked toe child's pose. Otherwise, sitting up, head on top of the heart on top of the hips on top of the heels, maybe resting your hands in your lap, and we'll take 3 deep breaths. So through the nose, breathe in, and through the mouth, breathe out, feeling the shoulders soften. Let's do that again. Through the nose, breathe in to the front, the sides, the backs of the ribs. And breathing out, imagining you're putting down heavy bags of shopping that carry the load of the day. One more, breathing in. And breathing out. And we're going to come into a little crouch. So you can open your eyes, lift your knees off of the floor, and then just let your head go heavy. So your head falls towards your knees. Maybe your head even rests on your knees. It might feel like a little stretch for the back of the neck and probably brings some relief to the feet after that stretch. And then from here, place the knees back down on the floor. Keep your toes tucked under if you can. Lift your hips away from your heels. Bring your hands to the small of your back and just take a mini Ustrasana, a mini camel pose. So squeeze your glutes, press your hips forwards. Feel your heart really lift up. Maybe look up, look towards the ceiling. Maybe blink a couple of times. And then again, sit your hips to your heels. Lift your knees off of the floor, chin to your chest. Head goes heavy. And then knees to the mat. Lift your hips from your heels, hands to the lower back, lift the heart, squeeze the buttocks as you press the hips forwards. Maybe if it feels good to you, lean back a little bit further this time. Maybe you blink firmly, feeling like you're cleaning your eyes, perhaps after spending a lot of time staring at a screen. And again, back into your little crouch. So hips to the heels, pick up the knees, head goes heavy. And then this time we'll come into a forward fold. So press your hips up and let your head go heavy. Maybe you want to take the feet a little bit wider. You could rock your body from side to side. And then we'll start to slowly roll up to stand, come to mountain pose, bone by bone. Feel yourself growing tall. Definitely recommend being barefoot. If you have socks on, maybe take them off. In mountain pose, stand with your feet side by side, hips distance or narrower. Take your arms to by your side, your palms face forwards. Spread your fingers wide so you feel space between each of your fingers. For the time being, lift up all 10 toes and spread your toes. Feel your thigh muscles kind of drawing up. Feel your sitting bones slightly drawing toward one another. Feel your heart lift up towards the roof of your mouth. And then imagine you're lengthening by being pulled up by the backs of your ears. The chin perhaps slightly draws down. And if it feels good to, close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, place all 10 toes back down. Inhale, lift the arms up for the ceiling. Maybe gently leaning back again, turning your heart towards the sky. And then as you exhale, fold forward, dive all the way down over your legs. A little bend to the knees, coming halfway up and placing your hands just a little bit higher than your knees. So your hands are kind of on your thighs. So it's a bit like halfway lift only, and perhaps we're a little bit higher than normal. And then we'll try some standing cat-cows here. So you're pushing your bottom back, drawing your heart forwards, looking forwards, or even looking up towards your eyebrows as you breathe in. And then breathing out, tucking the tailbone, drawing the chin toward the collarbones, pressing the back of the heart up toward the ceiling. Breathing in, pushing the bottom back, reaching the chest forwards, looking up. Breathing out, tucking the bottom under, drawing the chin to the chest, the back of the heart, pressing up towards the sky. Maybe a couple more in your own time. And then with the completion of the next one, we'll drop back down into a forward fold, into a ragdoll forward fold. So just going all loose over your legs. Maybe give the head a little shake out. You're also welcome to give yourself a little bit of a massage, bringing your hands to the back of the skull, back of the neck, or to the shoulders. We'll take the feet a little bit wider than the hips, maybe even up to the width of the mat apart. And again, a halfway lift, but this time keeping the hands to the floor or to blocks. So lengthening your spine. You can have a little bend to your knees, push your tail back, reach your heart forwards. Keep the right hand down. Maybe bend the right knee a little bit. The left leg stays straight. And then pull the left arm up for the ceiling and look up towards the left hand. Spread your left fingers wide. Take an inhale. Stay for the exhale. And then change sides. So left hand comes down. Lengthen your spine. Tailbone back, heart reaches forwards. Start to bend the left knee, straighten the right leg. Take the right arm out to the side, up for the ceiling. Turn your head, look up towards your right hand. Notice which way feels more comfortable to turn your head. And remember to use your eyes. Your eyes look for the thumb. You can inhale. Stay for the exhale. Back into your forward fold. And then we're coming into a downward dog. So you might be walking your hands forward. You might be stepping your feet back. And then when you get there, just enjoy stretching out and moving around in a way that feels good to you. So that might look like pedaling your legs as I am. Might look like wiggling your hips around. You might want to rock forward and backwards a few times. So just whatever feels nice. And then a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, bring your knees to the mat for melting heart pose. So you might want to keep all 10 toes tucked under as we had at the start of the class. And you keep your hips stacked over your knees. Reach your arms out in front of you and lower your head and your heart and your armpits down toward the ground. Keep the arms quite active. So you're kind of squeezing your upper arm muscles. Mouth closed, breathe through the nose, assuming there's no congestion. And we'll take one more breath here. And then we're coming forward into a Sphinx pose. So however works for you, you can kind of creep down onto your tummy, arrive with the elbows under the shoulders, the legs long behind you, press down into the forearms, feel the heart lift, feel the eyes lift, take an inhale. Can you exhale through the mouth? As you exhale through the mouth, pull your belly button in and lift into a half plank. So you bring your tummy and your thighs off of the floor. And then inhale back down into Sphinx. So land your thighs, your tummy down, lift your heart, lift your head, look up. Through the mouth, exhale. Half plank. Through the nose, inhale. Sphinx. Through the mouth, exhale. half plank, and inhale. Sphinx. 2 more, exhale. And inhale. And 1 more, exhale. And inhale. Really nice. We'll stay here if this feels great. Or you might like to press into the hands and lift the elbows off of the floor as well. Keep pressing your hips down onto the floor, imagining someone that was sat on your bottom. And squeeze the elbows in and the shoulders down. The chin slightly lifted, and then again look up toward the ceiling. Maybe flutter your eyes a few times. Breathe in. And breathe out, lower all the way down onto your tummy. And return to downward facing dog. So press your hips up in the air. Take a breath there. And then in downward dog, we'll lift the right leg up high. And actually take a moment to give your right leg a good shake. Almost like you were trying to shake your muscles off of your bones. Shake, shake, shake the right leg. Bring a little bit of energy and heat in. Maybe you imagine you're shaking off the day. And then breathe in, lift the right leg high. As you breathe out, squeeze your right knee to your nose. And then place the right foot between the hands. So keep the left knee lifted if you can. Come up to crescent lunge, bringing the chest up and lifting the arms up. Sit down low into the right leg. And if the left knee is lifted, stay quite long through the left leg. So it feels like you're pressing the left heel back, pressing the back of the left knee up toward the ceiling. Let's drop the right hand to the right thigh. Imagine someone's pulling your left arm up even more, and then lean to your right a little bit, deepening a stretch down the left-hand side of the body and perhaps into the top of the left thigh muscle. From here to revolved runner's lunge, bring the left hand down to the mat inside of the right foot and reach the right arm up for the ceiling. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, bring the right elbow down toward or even to touch the right foot. Breathe in, reach the right arm up. Breathe out, bring the right elbow, right forearm down to touch the right foot. One more, breathe in, lift the right arm up. Breathe out, bring the right elbow down towards the right foot. And then lift the right arm up once again. Hold the stretch there, eyes up towards your right thumb. Again, you can touch the left knee down if you want to. And then we'll bring the right hand down to the floor outside of the right foot and step back into a plank pose. So right foot back, active leg muscles, hips in line with the shoulders. Take a deep breath in. And as you breathe out, come to Sphinx pose. So lower all the way down onto your tummy and then bring your elbows to under your shoulders. Maybe this time you repeat as before, coming into half plank, or maybe you have your toes tucked under, ready to lift into a full plank. Breathe in, breathe out through the mouth. Lift the tummy, lift the thighs, maybe lift the knees. Inhale, lower back down to Sphinx. Exhale to plank. Inhale to Sphinx. Exhale to plank. Inhale to Sphinx. 2 more. Exhale to plank. Inhale to Sphinx. And last one, exhale, plank. Inhale, Sphinx. Point the toes back, maybe again lifting the elbows. And again, imagining something quite heavy on your bottom, pushing your hips down into the floor. Taking one more breath here. And then lower all the way down. And again, return to downward facing dog. This time lifting the left leg up high and giving your left leg a good shake, like you were trying to shake your muscles off of your bones, or maybe you're shaking off the day, difficult conversation. Shake, shake, shake. Last couple of seconds. And then lift the left leg up, breathe in, breathing out, squeezing your left knee to your forehead. And then placing the left foot at the top of the mat. And when you're ready to, coming up again for crescent lunge. So if you can, the right knee stays lifted. And you reach your arms up in the air. And you trust the strength of your left leg. Sit down low into the left leg. Be long through the right leg. In balance, you might like to look up. And then a little side stretch. So the left hand can drop onto the left thigh. Imagine someone's pulling your right arm up even more and then lean across to the left just a little bit. Make sure when you do this, you don't tip forward. So you keep your shoulders on top of your hips. You lean to the left. And then we'll sweep the right hand to the floor and reach the left arm up for the ceiling. And from here, bringing the left elbow or forearm down in search of the left foot. And then reaching the left arm up again. Breathing in, and as you breathe out, left forearm towards the left foot. And stretch back up again. Just one more time, breathing out. And left arm up as you breathe in. And just pause there, looking up towards your left thumb. One more breath. And then bring the left hand down. Step the left foot back to plank pose. Shoulders shadowing the wrists. Eyes towards the top of the mat. We'll take about 3 breaths. Make sure you're not clenching your teeth together. And then with the completion of the next exhale, touching your knees down to the mat for another melting heart pose. So lowering the head and the heart down toward the floor. And taking 2 or 3 deep, slow breaths. Great. And then again, however works for you, come to Sphinx pose. So you might drag yourself forward onto your tummy, or you might have a different idea of how to get here. So we end up again with the elbows under the shoulders, the legs long behind us. Imagine someone sat on your bottom. Press your forearms firmly down into the floor. Squeeze your thigh muscles, and then see if you can simply sweep the arms back behind you and keep the chest more or less where it was. So now relying on the muscles of the spine and the glutes to keep the chest lifted. Squeeze the shoulder blades towards one another so you stay open through the chest. And take one more breath there. And then place one hand on top of the other and rest your head on the backs of your hands for a few moments. And then we'll do that one more time. And this time the option will be to lift the legs as well. So let's prepare in Sphinx pose. Elbows under the shoulders. Your hips sinking down into the ground. Your legs nice and long behind you. Maybe hips distance, maybe a little narrower. You're welcome to stay here, but we might also sweep the arms back. And we might also lift the legs up and try and keep the legs quite straight. Smooth breathing through the nose. Your body temperature rising. Don't be afraid of the challenge. Last couple of seconds. The reward is in the effort. One more breath. And then relax. All the way down again. Resting your head on your hands. And then we'll press into a child's pose. So sit your hips to your heels. Perhaps have the knees together, the feet together, the hands by the feet, and then let the upper body roll forward over the legs. This doesn't suit every body type, so you might prefer to stack the arms, rest the head on your arms. You might prefer to have the knees a little wider. And then from there, lifting the chest up. And we'll come down onto our backs. So you can take your feet to the floor in front of you. Reach your arms in front of you. And then slowly, slowly roll all the way down onto your back. Once you get there, we'll come to bridge pose. So the legs stay bent, the feet flat on the floor, about hips distance apart, the arms down by your sides, palms pressing firmly down into the floor. Take an inhale. As you exhale, squeeze your glutes and start to lift your hips up and away from the floor. Press your feet firmly down into the floor, especially pressing down through the base of the big toe. So that helps to ensure that the knees don't roll open. The knees stay in line with the hips. And then really lift the hips up. You can stay here. Some of you might like to clasp your hands together underneath your back. Walk your shoulders a little bit closer together. Press your arms firmly down into the floor and lift your hips up as high as you can. One more breath. Really squeeze your hips up and try not to collapse. Instead, come out with control. So releasing the hands and then one bone at a time. Roll the hips all the way down onto the floor. Now, when the tailbone meets with the floor, let's spread the arms like wings. Draw the knees into the chest and windscreen wipe the knees to the right. Maybe you get a nice little click. I just did. And then all the way to the left. And to the right again. And to the left again. And do one more each way. And then back to the center. Lift your legs up in the air, lift your arms up in the air. And one more time, just shake off the day. Shake the legs, shake the arms. Imagine you're kind of shaking something sticky off of your hands and feet. Shake, shake, shake. You can make any silly noises. Last couple of seconds. Shake off the day. Shake anything off that's left stuck to you. Last chance. 3, 2, and 1. Relax. Come to Shavasana. Legs outstretched. Arms by your sides. Palms face up. Let your eyes close. And perhaps imagining yourself like a snow globe. Just been all shook up. And feeling breath by breath, heartbeat by heartbeat, all of the pieces land. Still the same, but perhaps slightly rearranged, hopefully slightly rejuvenated. Spending as much more time here as you please. And remembering to send your body some love, some gratitude, all that it does for you. It means that you can wrap your arms around the people that you love tonight. Or it means that you can tell the people that you care about how you feel about them. It means that you can smile and make someone's day. Such a wonderful thing, the gift of this body. And until next time, my friends, thank you for joining me today. Go well. Thank you for joining me. Please remember to like, subscribe, and share to keep the good content coming.